The reason the lizard is here, the lizard is acting as my squirrel for today to remind me that we are on to bigger and better pastures. And things like last night will not happen again, at least with the cell phone present. Now, I did say prior to going out last night, although I texted my group chats and said I was going to sleep, when I decided that that was not going to happen, I definitely said my goal was to get me and my friend thrown in jail. Now, we did not get thrown in jail, so we all have to say this was a win overall. Now, we were very close, apparently, from everything that he told me, because I was bugging. But, wait, hold on, I was flirting with a bartender?
You were. On your story. And the quality wasn't even great, which is where I came in, I responded, saying, the quality isn't here, but you're lit, though.
I gotta look at him. Wait, was I inside or outside?
You're inside.
I wasn't flirting with her. Yeah.
It looked like you were flirting with her, or at least the conversation sounded like it otherwise.
You know, they say I have a flirtatious personality, but you know, let's just be happy that I made it to the podcast because, wow. So this morning.
You had a long night.
Yeah, and you know, and that brings us into this episode of intoxication that we're about to get into.
Lovely.
Thank you all. Welcome back to another episode of the Freeform Anecdote, the Twin Casted podcast, where we take our private therapy sessions that I desperately need right now and invite all of you, including our beautiful guest today. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Not that I'm okay.
Listen, aren't we in World War III? So I'm doing as good as I can be.
Period.
Trying to survive, as we all are.
You know what? Since you mentioned that, I realize how privileged I am. The fact that I almost intentionally got thrown in jail yesterday. You know, I really gotta... Guys, I had a bad day. But anyway, I'm glad that you're doing well. It is great to see both of you. But yes, the Twin Casted podcast, where we take our private therapy sessions, invite them. But invite all of you, invite our beautiful guests, invite their beautiful co-host, NatRose, and we broadcast it all to you people, you wonderful people that I appreciate. You know, let's just go into my squirrel. Anyway, NatRose, you got it.
Hey, Miss Girl, how are you? I'm very excited to meet you. I know this is our first time interacting, which is like fantastic.
Listen, he told me a couple weeks back, he was like, hey, do you want to make me an album cover? Do you want to be on a podcast? I was like, sure. Because I feel like these days we also just got to make those connections, talk to people, but also just as an opportunity to, I guess, chat and showcase the stuff that I've been working on and also helping him out on his album. I'm scared, a little nervous, but...
Oh, don't be. We're like freshly new. So just putting that out there, like, please be your authentic self. Do not feel like you need to go above and beyond. That's literally what we're just expecting. Be you and only you. And I'm actually, you worked on the cover for the deluxe, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought no. So this is
No.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm very excited to see what you're going to come up with for this one. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I'm in the process of creating a little avatar for him. That's what I was going to get started on this week. And then we were going to think about visuals afterwards once I got his like character created.
Ooh.
Before you guys continue, you should shout out your name as well as your
Right,
page.
I'm trying. Right. So my name is Fatoumata. Or Fatou. I have so many different names. But I go under the name Fatou Studios when it comes to my 3D animation work. Hence what we were just chatting about with the album cover. But yeah, Fatou Studios. I started animating. You know, all of us picked up a hobby during the pandemic, and this one stuck. Like, for real. It's something that when I start, time just passes, and next thing you know, it's been like 10 hours, and I'm like, oh snap, the sun's down. I definitely really, really love it, and it's a nice hobby to have for like the creative side of things, especially since my main job is a teacher.
So I'm trying to figure out which way do I want to go, asking XO about intoxicating or proceeding, because I know this is going to blend at some point, right? So I feel like it would be...
it's already blended.
You got to take that scarf off, dude.
I need
You need
something.
to take the scarf off. I'm just like, what is happening? But I guess because you're not feeling in the best of shape, we could start off with you, and then we'll move on to the creativity of it, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
we got to talk about it, being that this is going to be a brand new thing. So this is opening like another chapter for you, being that we already talked about in previous episodes that this closes what previously we were talking about, closes one part of your life, and this is going to open your new chapter.
Yes. Okay, let me stop playing. Yes, 100%. It is a whole different, I would like to say that and then I do shit like last night. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, this would be, it's supposed to be a new chapter of my life going in a whole different direction. A vastly different type of music than what I was previously making. I think I talked about it in the first episode. My first album was very PG, and it was for me just, I was supposed to be done. I was supposed to retire. I was supposed to just write music for people. So this time I went away from everything that I necessarily had in mind for myself for this album and just embraced a whole new idea and a whole new direction and just embrace. I'm not sure what life holds. Like you mentioned earlier, we might be in World War III. I don't know. Like I just gotta take each day by day and embrace the new chapters that are coming my way. I don't want to get into too much about it, but the beauty of having Miss. I'm sorry, I don't want to say your name because I know I'm gonna mess up. Only because I'm not even here right now, guys.
You're semi-present. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm disassociated like a motherfucker right now. The beauty of being able to contact her and me remembering the fact that she is so talented. I see her pages. I've seen her art prior to, even especially during the pandemic when she started. I saw it a lot then, and when I got this idea for this album, because I just woke up one day after I moved and was like, you know what, think I got to do another one, because I was taking a break. I was working on our upcoming album, Love Is Written, and then after making Vegas, me and Mo decided that sound that I crafted there, I really need to stay with it and just go in that direction. And with her, it was able to spark a whole new idea of, okay, well, this is something I really want to put time in. I want to care about my music, which I didn't really for Exhale. And I love working with new people and giving them the baseline that I really didn't get and uplifting them. So allowing her to, not even allowing her, asking her because she's doing me a favor, but her making my album and me being able to shout out her amazing talent and her gift. That's something that I would love to do. And same thing that we're doing with the podcast.
That's amazing, actually. I love that. And another question, I guess, more so just based on the title of Intoxicating. We don't necessarily know exactly what it encompasses because you're not going to give that away until it comes out, obviously. But are there parallels with the actual definition of intoxicating or intoxication to what you're trying to portray?
Yeah, I almost got arrested last night. Yes, there's parallels. I think actually Miss Fatou. Why do I keep doing this? I can't.
A for effort.
Yeah, I'm just.
What was you had a question? You asked me something?
I was gonna throw it to because we actually came up with the idea for the album cover.
Well, you were I remember when you called me, we were kind of talking about, well, first, one thing that could be helpful in the future, because I know you're still working on it and finish it. If I actually get to listen to whichever ones you feel comfortable with, or whichever ones like you feel like could give me an idea of the sound, could also help inspire me with some other decisions. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, so I could call you.
Yeah, I mean, make sure I'm free. I be teaching. But yeah, you could call me. I remember you were saying like the theme was kind of intoxicating. So one of the things we talked about was first creating like a little avatar for you, but then kind of playing on this idea of emotions and maybe perhaps having your face animated, of course, showcasing different emotions, kind of maybe like either surrounding you or like maybe in front of you, however we choose to do it. But I know part of your album, or at least the themes we were talking about, is kind of going through emotions and what does that even look like, or how can we visualize that?
Yeah, exactly that. It's something that you came up with the idea for the avatar. But it, but yeah, exactly that. The emotions part of it. And since we're there, actually, let's stay there. Speaking of emotions, and you did mention World War III and just trying to stay alive. How do you feel nowadays with everything going on? Both of you, actually, with the way with us definitely just attacking another nation. America, we do a lot of things.
America is the Fire Nation. America is the Fire Nation. Shout out Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm.
We are the Fire Nation, and we don't know how to stop. We just don't. And then the other country's gonna be looking at us, being like, "Yo, these Americans will be like, please, they hate us too. They hate us, black and brown people. We don't like them either."
Genuinely, I just think other than being afraid for our lives at this point, whether we're in the US and the poor babies outside of the US, like, we're in survival mode.
The big
I think the way, like, we've perceived and had to go about our day-to-day lives has literally put us in a constant state of anxiety, fight or flight, not necessarily being able to comprehend what's going on with the world because there's so many quick changes that are currently happening. I had a friend that actually she went to Thailand like I think about a week ago now. She went for like 2 weeks and just came back. The capabilities of her trying to get on a flight that she had booked a couple months ago was insane. Like, it just wasn't happening. Everything that happened with practically World War III at this point intervened with all the flights and flights getting canceled. So it took her about 20, I mean, she was able to get back in 24 hours, but it took her going to like going what was it? I think she went to China, then she had to go to another spot, then she had to go to California, and then she had to fly into Dulles. So like it was just a lot of different places that like literally completely put a halt on like her being able to get back to her mom, her kids, everything. It scared her for her life. When she saw her walk through the front door, her mom just cried. She was like, "I'm so happy that you're home because we don't know if we were going to see you."
not word.
Like,
It's like real. It's a real reality for all of us. Like now, I feel like before, especially when October 2023 happened, October 7th, 2023, a lot of it was overseas. A lot of it was on the other side of the world. But now, again, the United States, we're so war happy, we can't mind our business to save our lives. We're now involved, and it's becoming a reality for all of us, not just over.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
planning on my blue collar crimes right now. As soon as the world just gets distracted enough, I'm pulling off a lot of heists. I've been planning this for weeks. I knew where this was going when he kidnapped the Venezuelan president. I started planning. I just need one distraction. I'm technically not even in this state. I don't even have an ID here. I just gotta do one thing. I'm out. Next state, Oklahoma. We out. I'm sorry.
This is
Continue.
just a distraction, I feel like, as a whole from the Epstein files, but that's just
What? Please do not get me started on conspiracy theories because this podcast will take a turn so fast. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started.
there's a lot to unpack, but I think just as a whole, we are fending for our lives, whether it's, and you know what sucks is the fact that like anybody who's trying to get a house, have a family, do all the basic things as an adult would want to do to literally, go through evolution, they can't do that right now. If I wanted to buy a house, I can't buy a house. God forbid if I wanted to have kids right now, which I mean I don't right now, being the way the world is, where I just
It's over.
I feel bad. I do.
It's over.
I had to stop myself. My intrusive thoughts almost just came out. We love kids. Speaking, you're a teacher. I work with kids. They're let me not get fired. Anyway, you are 100% right. Not being able to buy a house right now, not being able to. I would say I'm scared, but quite frankly, I'm really planning these heists, guys. I'm telling you, I just need one distract. As soon as the U.S. gets distracted a little bit, criminal, I am changing my life. I'm going right to the bad side. But I do agree. I do agree to the seriousness of it all and the worry. I don't know necessarily. I think I'm just. We see so much every single day. I'm very desensitized. I don't really pay attention. I don't like what we're doing in other countries, but in terms of our reality, we live in the worst generation, right? We grew up in the worst generation possible. For us having the tech splurge that happened for us, and that you young.
What are
I
you
almost
talking
forgot
about?
about that.
What are you
Forgot
talking
about that.
about? We're literally the same age. What are you talking about?
Well, you were born in 2000. You're
Yo,
glowing, by the way. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. You're glowing right now. Anyway, but we grew up in the we grew up in the tech age with that big shift, and it's been so downhill for during our whole duration of our lives. So now with everything going on, I mean, we just went through COVID, right? We've had so many things happen in our short span of life, shorter for you, but our short span of life.
You see me blinking
That
right now? It's not that short.
like, were you born like in the last couple months of '99? Like, this is what I be talking about.
so you remember my birthday? Sounded like it a minute ago. But with that, I mean, how does that work out for both of you? I mean, even for our own individual careers, right? Me being RBT, you being a teacher, NatRose being the illustrious woman behind the camera, making everything on our TV. Matter of fact, hijack your company's network and let's make a PSA. I will. Let me
God
not
bless
get
your
you fired.
soul. Good luck doing that. You think I would want to do that in a heist? I would not. That was a lot. Television is a whole different ballgame. There's a lot of chaos and a lot of restrictions within the company that I work for in order to be able to voice some opinions on certain things. And you do have to be mindful of what you say and what you do. But I think it takes a toll too because I do live in the state where I have the WH 10 minutes away from me. So we're constantly kind of worried right now. And it's totally okay to be worried. Career wise, like
You're
it's a hot mess.
you're
It
right
is
next
kind of a
to.
hot mess.
You're in
Yeah.
like the danger zone. That's scary.
Yeah, actually,
You should
they
move
said that if the White House were to have gotten
again. They got us before.
okay, well I'm talking about now, I'm not talking about then.
Well,
If they were I'm put in nuclear like what is it called?
Radius?
Radius. Yeah, so I would have to evacuate.
yeah, honestly, I don't think we have to worry about that. No, I'm pretty sure. Just defense-wise, is unless America is a part of it again, like attacking its own country, which they've done before. But unless they're a part of it, I don't think, especially not a nuke, like.
Yeah, they. I was talking about it with my dad yesterday, and he was saying like how Iran and them just don't have the. They literally don't have the military strength, nor the gas or the mileage to get missiles all the way over here. Now, my dad did say China does and Russia does. So if they continue to be in cahoots, and if Russia step in, I don't know.
Russia has its hands full losing a battle to a war they already started.
Right. Exactly. So I think for me, when I think about my work with students, so I now teach in 12th graders, they're kind of little adults, little people. And I'm not gonna lie when I say
Y'all the same age.
uh
My God.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm one of those teachers that I kind of really don't care if my principal or somebody finds out. I'm not that neutral. Like I'm neutral and I give these students the facts and I allow them to critically think for themselves. At the same time, when we are engaging in these kinds of conversations, I'm going to let them know the real. I'm going to let them know they're going to be able to know my opinion and perspective based off of the way that I speak. And that's not me necessarily telling them what to think or how to think, but I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I'm not going to be like, "Oh, like when Charlie Kirk passed away, when he passed away, I was not the teacher who was like, oh, we have to, somebody still passed away and we have to, like, okay, yes, he passed away. Sorry to his wife and kids. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't, Like, I'm not about to have sympathy for somebody who wanted us dead. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that I condone that kind of killing. We've been told him that we don't agree with gun violence. Yet he was the one being like, "Oh, gun violence, yeah, you have a right to own a gun." And the irony in that, don't make me get poetic, because the irony in that was insane.
She's the one. She's gonna make this show a hit. We just gotta get. We
Stop.
gotta. I'm gonna just lead her
No,
right.
stop,
I'm gonna just keep
stop,
leading her.
stop. What are you talking about?
No,
This
but
is
you're
gonna be a
on.
great
You
episode.
you have a good point though. It's one of those where it was like a you said this, but when this happened to you, now it's like everybody's got to take it back.
All these white
No.
people in the comments acting crazy. Same people that can vote with us, by the way. Like, I just can't. Like, everything is one big irony, one big just catastrophe. And so as I step into my school building and I like teach, you know, when I have things like homeroom or when I have one-on-one time, a lot of the students like to come to me for lunch and we talk about real stuff, and I'm gonna let them know the real. With a lot, all and 99% of the time, facts speak for themselves. All you have to do is just display the facts, the actual facts, and then you allow them to critically think themselves.
Not this fake news out here, you know, that everybody's claiming that
And then
there's fake
AI
news.
getting better and better. Literally.
It's the eye switch for me. I hate AI. We can bounce to that too. I do not like it. I do not like what it is. It's literally making our brains melt. It is. We have no abilities to be able to creatively process without having to input into ChatGPT asking it to do it for us. Or like going into Gemini or Copilot, like for me, for example, at work, going into Copilot to have it draft me an email that I could have literally used my full brain capacity and thought processing that I went to school for so many years for to compile.
Yeah, now it's quiet. I as someone, I am not, I tell my students all the time, as you know, as you can imagine, as a teacher, especially with the younger Gen Zers, listen, some of them, I feel like the cutoff for Gen Alpha should be 2010 and not 2012. Yeah, I think it's 2012, but that's another conversation.
What generation are you in?
The same one as you?
I'm sorry, what? Why? Just go ahead. I thought you was going. Just
The
ignoring me.
same one as you? So, what was I saying?
We were talking about AI and how like the younger generation, I have a feeling they're going to try and slide one up on you very quick, or try and do all the time.
Literally, like my first month of school, I flagged it right away. I was like, next time you do this, there's going to be a 0. And I don't really have issues with it anymore. I made an announcement at the beginning of the year. I'm sure they're still able to get away with like it sometimes, especially on some of my chemistry assignments where it's just like one answer is the correct answer. Like, there's no way for me to necessarily tell, but that's on them, because I tell them all the time I'm not going to care, because when you then sit there and take the quiz and you don't know what you're doing, then I have no sympathy and I don't care. So, but it definitely is a big issue. They use it for everything, and I tell them all the time that I'm not anti ChatGPT. I use it. I definitely am someone who uses it to help me lesson plan. It is a tool, just like I say this all the time to them. Just like a calculator should not replace your math, you should still know how to add and do 1 plus 1 and 1 plus 2. A calculator allows you to be efficient, quicker. It's the same thing with ChatGPT. It should allow you to just be, it's a tool, it's an addition to, not a replacement for your own brain. If I need to send a quick email to my principal, I'm typing that myself. It actually probably will take more time for me to open up ChatGPT, hey, draft me an email, copy and paste it over, like, when I could just write my own email, you know? And don't get me started on the actual environmental things that ChatGPT does to our ecosystems and stuff, and the water and everything. So
Oh my
it's
God,
just
if
like
people did not think
people are
global.
overusing it. I do believe it started off as something that could have been positive, but when something doesn't have rules and regulations, then I actually no, I can't even say it because low key. Well, it's about one of my students, but just know
Don't do it.
these
Don't
little
do it.
boys. I'm not gonna bring him up, and I'm not gonna say her situation. But all I'm gonna say is that we already have young boys using ChatGPT towards other girls to either change their bodies, make them more revealing. And I have seen this, guys. Like I have seen this with myself. So with my own eyes. So like it's just gotten out of hand.
I just watched an episode like that on Hunting Party. If I had a dragon, we wouldn't have to deal with any. If I had that AI tool when I was in high school, I'd be in jail. But that is a very big concern.
It's also a concern too. I don't know if you guys have heard this story, and it's just I heard it through another podcast about this guy committing because his chat GBT partner,
Oh my god.
rejected him.
Yeah. Well, I heard about some of the situation they were
Like
dating it.
an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. Wait,
Yeah.
nah, I'm crying. This is funny because I was kind of discussing with some of my students. I took them to this ethics bowl, and one of the questions, ethics bowl is basically like a big debate competition, and one of the questions was about AI therapy and whether or not you can have a therapist, an artificial intelligence therapist. And so
Is it free?
artificial intelligence doctor, like, nah, I'm crying. Did you just say is it free?
Look,
ahead, pay the
I
premium.
can't call
You got
I can't call my
Nah, pay
therapist
the
right now.
premium.
Go
I'm
ahead,
just-
pay that premium.
I'm just saying, my therapist told me I got to come back to New Jersey to talk to her. I'm like, I'm not willing to do that. I think I'd rather crash out here. So continue.
No, that was it. Just comparing it to that, like just ChatGPT girlfriends, therapists, like listen, and I don't know if y'all read, but there's a series that it is literally all about artificial intelligence basically taking over the world.
What's it called?
The series, the first book is called the Arc of Scythe series. The first book is
Okay.
called Scythe. The second book is called Thunderhead, and the third book is called The Toll. But
I can watch
the
iRobot.
first book is the best one out of them all. I'm actually looking at it because I have it on my dresser.
Don't
But
get
it's
alarmed
so good. Huh?
if you hear gunshots in the background. It's okay. They be
I'm crying. Actually,
wilding
I should
outside.
get it so I can show it.
You know, seriously, don't be alarmed if you hear gunshots in the background. Honestly, they be bugging outside. And I should tell you, I live in a good neighborhood. Like, imagine that. But it's open carry around here. They just be doing anything they want. And cops do not. I have only seen cops in my circumference in the state. And it's never when people are killing, like when people are shooting at each other.
Mm-mm.
Like,
I
imagine
think
that.
that's
And I'm just little old me, scared to death in my room. What am I to do? Except look out the window and watch everything that's going on.
You better run from me.
What should I do? Let me face it through the glass. Let me do
Yep.
Mm.
My mother gets so upset.
that. Gets scared for their life, but goes towards it anyway. But has a
Absolutely.
glass as the only thing that's the divider. That's it.
Right.
I almost went outside and joined in. I was like, who up? I get very bored, guys. Very bored and lonely. You know, the other day someone called me a witch. That has nothing to do with this, but it was fucked up. You know, it hurt my feelings a little bit.
How? I would take that.
Were
as a
they
compliment.
Whoa. Are you okay?
I mean, that's also a good answer. That's a good statement. Were they?
Yeah. But were they white?
No, she was black.
Oh, okay. Because if it was white, then I would have said it was a little bit racial.
Yeah. No, something like that happened, though. Only once, though. I've been down here 3 months. Only happened once. No, she called me a witch because she asked me about astronomy. Because my friend and I was talking about it at work. And then I just started reading her, in a sense. And I was right about every single, I'm good at what I do, guys.
Right,
I'm
right,
very,
right.
I pay attention.
Right.
I like to, exactly. I like to really get to know, you're an ass. I didn't even get the joke off yet. Anyway,
Wait, so I want to know about this book.
yes.
This is the book. The first book is called Scythe.
Ooh.
So essentially, it is about. It takes place in it's a dystopian novel similar to like books like The Hunger Games and whatnot. Neil Shusterman might be one of my favorite authors now because I feel like he does that genre so well. But essentially, the book it takes place in a dystopian future where humanity has tackled diseases and all of these things, crime and whatnot, And so nobody dies, or like death is no longer like a thing anymore. Instead of that, they have these
Terrible.
people, who go around. They don't call it killing, they call it gleaning. And these people are called scythes. And they are in charge of killing or gleaning to the population, to keep the population size under control.
Like the
Now we
TVA in
see
Marvel.
that happening. It's like a new kind of system that you can compare, similar to like a new policing system or whatnot. It gets crazy. But then
Yeah, they're
on
gonna
the
be
other
cloned.
side of that is this the artificial intelligence piece, which is the title of the next book, The Thunderhead. So there's this cloud thing called the Thunderhead in the book that like there's cameras everywhere where on the planet. You can see everything. It does everything. It makes all the decision for you. It knows everything. But the only problem is that the Thunderhead cannot interfere with Scythe business. So they kind of like work with each other. But over the course of the 3 books, you literally see how this artificial intelligence, whatever we want to call it, whether it's a cloud, a thunderhead, whatever it is, gets kind of like out of control. Along amongst other things, like these sites are like crazy.
I feel like psychopaths stole the whole
I
idea from
mean,
that
yeah,
book.
no, it's a very interesting book, and I feel like they tackle themes that are basically going on right now.
The relevancy
The
is actually
relevancy,
diabolical.
There's 2 books, well, 2 series. I would say the relevancy right now is like insane, which is The Hunger Games, which is my other favorite series. I finished the Sunrise on the Reaping. Yep, you know, I finished Sunrise on the Reaping last year, and I'm waiting for the movie this year. And this series, both of those series right now, the relevancy is actually insane. It is insane.
Boy, I feel like we have a lot that we are going to be like so embarking on in these upcoming years that I genuinely, I don't really think I can really pull an emotion anymore. I think as
That part.
I just can't. I think we are quite literally so desensitized to everything that it's just like I'm not surprised anymore. And that's so sad. That's very upsetting.
You know, I agree. And actually, I'm gonna read that book. I looked up how much it was. It's in my price range. I just met somebody who wrote a book, and my pride won't allow me to pay for it. So let's see if that website got it, just so I could read it and not give them any money.
I'm
Period.
crying.
Listen, I like to use the website, especially for a lot of white authors that I don't want to give money. Because I try to buy, like, black authors' books or someone of color. Like this Neil Shusterman, he's a black man, which is why I really, really mess with him. And the other books that I have on here, there's a Japanese author, Octavia Butler Kindred, one of the best books ever created. A Thousand Splendid Suns, which is my favorite book ever. By, is he from Afghanistan? I think so. Khaled Hossein. Let me look that up.
Ooh.
You know, I took
Yeah.
away one important thing. Although the explanation for the book is actually something, it was riveting, and I think I am actually gonna read it.
Mm-hmm.
One main thing I remember is that you said in the future no one dies. And these people have to prune them, and all I thought about was I would hate that because I still have a hit list like of people who got to get hit by a bus. I would be so pissed if no one died. Like this, that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah,
But they'd be
literally.
like
I
endangered.
guess if you were in this universe, you would just have to hope and pray that a scythe would glean him.
Absolutely. Oh, I would do. I would get them. Me and the sites would be friends.
Wait till you read the book. You might be friends with some sides, but not some other one.
This seems
No.
like something that I would end up getting myself pruned.
It's literally like a thing of like good cop, bad cop. Like, are all cops bad? And like, yeah, there's some cops who take advantage of the system. It's literally that.
I wouldn't
That
be
is
here. They
so
would have got me as a
scary.
baby.
No, right. But except now they're like literally responsible for your life, whether or not.
Yeah, they would have got me out of here quick. I troll too much.
I can only wonder, like, you know how like when you have to create a curriculum, you have a series of books that like are dedicated to what you're going to be teaching like that year. I wonder if these like types of books are going to be incorporated
In the future.
in the future.
I think about that a lot too. I've already been starting. I kind of do it now, especially as we get older and like we think about the stuff that we've watched as kids and read as kids. Like, yeah, for sure. I think some people already use this book. I use another book in my forensics class as kind of like a true crime novel. The book is called Monday's Not Coming.
Mm.
I finished reading it with them, and that book is insane. I'm not even going to spoil it. I'm not even going to tell you what happens because I feel like that is one of those books. There's some books like, yeah, you can get an idea of what it's about. Like this one, I can tell you what it's about, and you'll still be surprised. But I feel like Monday's Not Coming. You need to just know like barely anything about it and just go in and read it because it's phenomenal in the way it's written.
So I am curious, what made you want to become a teacher?
Well, growing up, I since as early as I can remember, like I've always just helped people on homework. I've been the person in class that the teachers would sit next to somebody to help them. I was the tutor. I would go live on Facebook
Period.
and help people prepare for like midterms and stuff. No, like yeah, I always was like that. Now when I got to college, I majored in chemistry. I thought I was gonna work in like a lab and stuff. And when I graduated, as we probably all had a similar experience, pandemic, whatnot, things like that, I was unemployed for a while, trying to find like a chem job. What does that even look like? I had a interview at this one pharmaceutical company, which like had a pretty good salary, but I said no because they were so condescending and rude during that job interview. And I tell this to my students all the time. If you ever go to a job interview and they're mean or rude, that is an embodiment of that work environment, and you should not go there. And so I said no, and so I was unemployed for a little while
So I
longer. I had a startup job, but then I got laid off because it was a startup company and they were about to go under. So I was like, you know what? Let me just. I literally saw some stuff on LinkedIn. One thing that is what is needed was teachers. Listen, everybody I know right now is somehow involved in some sort of school or school aid or admin, just because that's what's available right now. And the job market is kind of difficult to kind of navigate, even with whatever expertise you have. And so it's a mixture of like me always being good at it and knowing that I would be able to teach very easily, and a mixture of like not having a job and just like, okay, let me apply, and then I got it. So that's really how it came to be.
That's actually that yeah. Oh gosh. I think that can bounce into, I mean, it's something, do you love it? Do you love what you do?
I do. I would say I definitely really, really like teaching. I think the students are great. They make it worthwhile. I would say the most difficult part of the job, especially after teaching seventh and eighth grade and then 11th and 12th grade, is working with
that everyone's
admin.
older than you.
But aren't you? Nah, I'm
That
fine.
don't. Mm-mm.
I I is working with admin and like coworkers. People be weird. The kids be like, they're little people and they're getting older, and they're like, as long as you have firm boundaries and you're strict and you tell them, look, this is what you got to do and this is what you're gonna do. That's really been fine. I have some girls here and there. I work at an all girls school now. I have some girls who give me a little attitude here and there, but it's nothing like. It's literally like nothing. It's not like anything dire or like It's really, I feel like at times the people I have to work with.
It's almost like a blessing in disguise then too, right? To go from what you were looking at to where you got into. And it's not just because of where you got into, but the importance of, there being a need. I feel like there should be a lot more teacher appreciation because it's not like you guys have to do that. It's because
Right.
you guys want to do that. And if you love what you do, that can bounce into our topic of doing what you love, not necessarily you're expecting the financial freedom, but it's just doing what you love doesn't feel like you're working at all. It should just, you'll be happy doing what you
Like what I
love to
said
do
in the
every
beginning.
day.
This is exactly like what I said in the beginning when I started my animations. That's literally, time would pass, I would not even know. And so it's the same thing with teaching. I do be tired though, but that's a mixture of different things
You
like
go
my
to bed at eight
commute.
o'clock. I got
Listen,
time.
my commute is long and they be sometimes a little overstimulating. Like I teach a hard subject like chemistry. So when they start panicking or when I'm about to give a quiz, they're like and like
Yeah.
and during class they don't realize my school is also a little bit underfunded, so it's like just me and the classes be a little big and when they 20 of them have questions and it's just me, I'm like, guys, I'm doing the best I can. And I literally feel it. Like you literally feel the overstimulation. It's like, oh, everybody raising their hand. So
Yeah.
I
XO
think
thoughts?
that's the beauty of. We're gonna come back because this all wraps into intoxication or intoxicating. But even at my job, I mean, I told you, and I'm not shy about saying it at my job anyway. Whatever I say on this podcast, how I'm talking is exactly how I talk at work. I don't know how I did not get in trouble yet. I have no filter anymore. I just don't give a damn. But it is some of the people, just supervisors, things like that, just not what you would hope for, especially in the field for me of mental health, where I'm working with children. So I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but working with kids that are on the spectrum. We're there to assist, we're there to help. You've known me for a long time, and we met a few years ago. Not too long ago. How you knew actually how long I've known you? It's like, let me stop playing. Anyway,
talking about me?
yes,
Oh, my fault. I didn't know. Listen, it's not easy to know who you're pointing at. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's so true, actually.
yes. And both of you, I've known both of you for a pretty considerable time. I am very passionate just about, well, mostly about kids. I love kids. I love teaching. I love assisting. Typically, if it was more in a school setting, maybe I'd be a little bit happier, but I also don't like school. What I do with the kids and helping them prepare them for what is going to be, because I work with children at this point. Their ages from, I think it's 1 to 8 typically, and not having the structure I would like is what made me leave my field in the first place back in 2023. This time around, even with the idea of intoxicating, because I am so passionate about it and I love it so much, I won't give up on it. I had a job interview for a whole different thing, and they offered me a considerable amount of more money. But I'd rather stick with what I'm doing just because I love it. And I find happiness in helping the kids. I find happiness in the peers that I work with. And they make it easier to go each day. I think that's for me what I'm looking for and what I'm striving for at this point in my life. That version of intoxicating, just having my lungs filled with every bit of enjoyment that I'm getting around me. And if I get that feeling, money and everything, I'll deal with the suffering I have to deal with to have that happiness. Because I'd rather go to work and be happy than have to work a job I don't like, and I'm not doing that.
It's sad how like we always look at money as money makes the world go round, which ideally it does, but money can be so blinding to the human eye that you can literally lose yourself in it just trying to keep yourself afloat.
Yeah,
no.
just do what I do. Hide from the IRS. Anyway,
If you could, you know.
yeah, if of
If.
course. No, I'm just playing. I would never be in trouble with the law. Go ahead, Nat Rose. Let's talk about your job.
My job, I mean, I deal with a lot of older people, and unfortunately, being that I find it very ideal, and I think this just not just works for me, but I think it could work for a lot of different areas of career growth that you shouldn't feel obligated to stick around in one spot. You should be able to dip around multiple spots or go to multiple areas because your network increases as you do so. So that's my perspective on what I think is good for me. Now, I do notice that just because that's the mindset that I have, there's people that have been within the company for years and years and years, and you can tell that they have been there because their level of happiness has decreased drastically. You're sitting there and you're settling for what's been given in front of you because, you have a family and you need some type of stable income and you feel like you can't really go anywhere. It's almost just like enough is enough for you there and there only. You don't feel like you need to move around. You don't feel like you need to explore more. My brain is not like that. And I'm coming to a place where, yes, I've been in where I'm at for about a year now, but I could see myself doing a lot more, accomplishing a lot more things. Every place that I go to, because I worked in Connecticut before I came to DC, so that's kind of like a little bit of a jump. I worked in New York a little bit as well, but that was also within the same company. I worked in both headquarters before I came to this headquarter over here.
I know, right? We became friends again, then your ass left.
Hey, gotta do what I gotta do. Not only for money, but for experience. I think
can't
I've
keep a
gained a
friend.
lot of. I've gone from sports to documentary, and even though that is a big jump, it can make or break where you see your interests lie. I'm so used to everything being a little bit fast paced that this is a little too slow for me. But then at the same time, you do get to learn the structures of how certain productions are supposed to be compiled and put together. And I'm a scheduling coordinator, so like being able to schedule certain cuts and certain, like, for us we have cut to times which and cut to clocks, which fall into like the same bucket. It's just everything for streaming for what I work for. You tend to see the progression of which people get super excited over certain things, but if we have too much of it, it's like the decline. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then to have to work from it from a corporate production instead of it being like a super cool like movie set, it's completely different. I feel like you can lose the enjoyment fairly quick. I don't feel like my light has been dimmed. I feel like my light has been stabilized, and that's something that I'm not willing to stand for. I walked into 2026 this year with not a list, but just certain bullet points within myself that I want to hit. And having to get there, I know it's not like you can wake up the next day and, it just like magically happens. But
That's what happened to me all week. Every single day I wake up, these monthly followers going up. Music is going great.
Yeah, but how long did we get to that point for it to get there? You went through trials and tribulations to get there, right? It's the same thing.
The lost. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough couple months. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's not easy, but I feel like for me, sticking to being my authentic self and not letting the corporate world take over with the way people are and the structures that they are, it's an accomplishment within itself for me. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's just so like 9 to 5-esque. When you think of 9 to 5, you're thinking of like kind of working in like a cell block and doing the same thing over and over and over again. For me, I can't see myself doing that for years and years and years on end at one place. I could see myself maybe doing it in multiple places, but also doing different positions. You can't see yourself grow without that. So why limit yourself if you don't have to?
Talk to him. Let him know. You decide your own destiny. They can't hold you. No.
When I graduated college, so many people wanted to... What?
Epstein. I'm sorry, continue.
I want to fully say I think America's a scam, but in my brain, it's a scam.
This is a quick side note. Isn't it so funny that our generation, like this period of our lives, it seems as though, at least let's say the last 10 years, that being able to pursue your passion, and honestly, our generation is the first generation that we are really determining our own journeys. Like you said, you don't want to be bogged down to stay in one job, even though in history, that's exactly what America was like, right? Or even, I don't even want to just say America, but I'll speak to it because that's where we live. They would find a job, whether they like it or not, and they would stay there their whole lives. And sometimes, if there's those few people that say, no, I want to do exactly what I want to do, whether it's be a comic or, just something, their passion, and go all through it. It's not as heard of. You find the dime a dozen who say, I'm going to do my passion and I'm going to go with it. But our generation, we are throwing that out the window and saying, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'll do this, but I'm not even going to stay here long enough. If someone offers me another job tomorrow for more money, I'm taking it, even if I don't like it, because this is literally just funding me to get exactly where I want to be. I love that part of our generation. I love that part of what we're doing.
Our generation is not trying to dim their light for others. We're trying to be ourselves. The previous people are very jealous of us. And I say
For
jealous
sure.
because I feel like it's true that they weren't able to go and reach out to go accomplish their dreams, either A, because they just didn't know where to go, or B, they felt like they needed to settle and find something settling to just let them, as you were saying, get by
Yeah.
instead of shooting for the stars. And that's the thing, they always teach you, and maybe not just Disney, there were a bunch of other ones. They were teaching you to go follow your dreams. But boy, are we not able to actually go follow our dreams. I don't care.
Talk to that's the NatRose I've been waiting on. We out of here. This
care.
episode, I'm picking the best clips, especially the one where I was dissing that girl who pissed me off a few weeks ago. Anyway, tag me in.
Go ahead.
Jersey. All right. You said jealous people. Let's talk to jealous people. I see all these local artists. Look at all these people from New Jersey. They music suck. They not doing it. They've held me back. We out. We did it. Nat, I told you our song was gonna do it. I said, yo, as soon as I get you on the track, this all we out of here. And look what happened. We get the album back up, flourishing. And all these people held me back for years. All these little local artists, they want to work with me. And now look at I see they spot. You know I'm crazy. I stalk these motherfuckers. They are doing terrible. They music shit. They suck. I love all these people that didn't help me. I don't know what I said when I was drunk on Instagram yesterday, but it's my real opinions. I say it all the time. I love everyone who doubted and didn't support me because I am an asshole. I don't believe in being humble. I'm gonna buy your house. Your house is gonna happen. You're gonna pay me rent. I remember everybody's face. Everybody's got their catalog and shelf that shit. That shit, but ain't nobody hearing that shit. I'm doing the world a favor. They suck. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. I don't even want to talk about my job. Some of these people, they lucky I like them.
So then I have to ask. Okay, as a passion for graphic designing, because I would know that's what it would fall into that bracket. Would you see? Other than it being like kind of not a side quest? Actually, yes, it is a side quest and a side hobby. Can you see it going further than just it being a side?
I mean, absolutely. Just like any market or industry, 3D animation is a little bit, I think it's oversaturated, and so there's not much like professional opportunities, but that's why I've just been pursuing my own stuff, because you never know when something can take off or not. But I'm not necessarily doing it for that. I mean, it definitely is like a side quest, but it also is something that I like am doing like consistently all the time. Like I'm always just making something new or just visualizing something and then creating it. A lot of it is inspired from music and anime, Japanese anime. So I definitely could see it going farther, but
give it 3 months.
What did you say?
Give it 3 months. The universe sent me for a reason. You are out of here in 3 months. We up there. Period. I'll be saying your name all the time. I'm like, no, she did an amazing job. She made this come to life. Let's make it. You know, I'm dramatic.
Let's make
I'm dramatic. I know, right? I would.
He gonna be like, this shit trash.
Nah, I wouldn't. You think I would do something like that?
I'm playing.
You know, I would do something like that. But
you would, but like not like for real, like.
Nah.
Trash.
Nah, I didn't just say I was gonna buy people's homes and
don't
sell
tell
it.
me it's trash.
So then I think my last question would be, we all sitting in this room, sitting in this, virtual room. We all have our talents and we've all discussed that. I sing and do a whole bunch of other stuff for funsies.
We're not gonna downplay it, shorty. You already schedule coordinator at work. Side project, podcaster by night. Hold up, beautiful, elegant voice by day. Which one we want to keep going?
Then we're executing all of our creative outlets in the best that we can.
Exactly, 24/7 exclusive handler, NatRose. Literally, call you for therapy.
What would be advice that you would give? Oh, actually, no, this is good. What would be advice that you would give, if not adults, but like the kids who have talent but are like afraid to jump into it?
You asked
I
me or her?
It's so funny that you asked that because I have a little sister and she loves to draw. Like when I was a kid, I used to draw too, but I started doing more 3D stuff. But I tell her all the time, I'm like, yo, draw me something out animated or do this out, you know, I'd be pushing, you should start like a little TikTok, but she always be so nervous. She'll be like, oh, I just make it just for me. And then I'm shy.
Girl, you was nervous to get on this podcast. Don't act.
But exactly. But that's exactly like I life is about putting yourself out there. Like I was definitely mad nervous. When you asked me, I was like, ooh. But you just gotta make it. I remember when I first made my Instagram page, I was like, I feel like this is kind of corny. But this is what like society tells us. That's why we
Exactly.
end up stagnant. We gotta fuck the corniness. Like you gotta put yourself out there. For
And
my
I'm pretty
student, my
persuasive.
little sister, who I think is one of the best drawers out there, and I really wish whenever she decides to make like a page or whatever, my students, so many of them can draw, so many of them can sing, so many of them have different little like creative outlets. Just you always start somewhere. People think you have to like start and you automatically need 100,000 followers. You need it. No, you start somewhere. You start small. That's it, and you pour into it, and eventually you'll get replenished. I would say that's what my biggest advice would be: to start somewhere. Don't overthink and think that you need to be 10 steps ahead than where you need to be. Like you're just start somewhere, and naturally the process will will grow.
And definitely, that was top tier. And definitely, and I mean this for any whoever hears this next, definitely don't let people doubt yourself and make you wait to start doing music until 24 years old and then have some of the quickest results you've ever seen in your life and feel like you wasted so many fucking years. Don't do that shit. Let me tell you, whatever your dream is, just give it a shot. It really, what's the worst that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that you never give yourself the shot. Honestly, I think I've thought about, I was supposed to retire after Exhale. And then I woke up one day and said, I'm writing this album. Right? I was supposed to just be a writer after this. I was gonna just write for NatRose, just write for the other. And my friends repeatedly would tell me, "You love writing," and I do. I love writing. It's something I've loved since I was a kid. And not just music, books, stories, everything. I love writing. Period. But they tell me all the time they just don't feel as though I will be happy, and I won't feel like life is complete if I do not do music, if I do not try to perform, if I don't get on the stage.
Right.
Parts of me I thought it was okay with after Exhale, especially after dealing with the stupid ass lawsuit. I thought I would be okay with just starting the writing because I did what I wanted to do. I put out an album. It was well received for the people that had heard it at the time, and then I had to deal with a lawsuit. Blah blah blah, and I felt content with everything in my heart. But I just woke up one day and realized that's not it. You have to follow your dreams. There's literally, if you're so passionate about something, you can't fail at it because you're doing what you love. There's no losing in that. You cannot lose if you're doing something that you love, even if you're not the biggest star in the world, like I'm gonna be. But even if you're not the biggest star in the world, if you're doing what you love, you're gonna enjoy it every single day, and that's something that you can't take for granted in this life. Especially look at we just talked about Epstein files, World War III. I wake up every single day and enjoy living, knowing I get to hear something I created. I can't take that away from myself again, and I won't let anybody else do it. But I'm gonna do it to them. I'm gonna buy their catalog and I'm gonna shelf that shit. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, those are great answers. I think if I were to answer, it would definitely be we all go through trials and tribulations, especially when something is so brand new and so it's of interest, right? That when you're trying to execute it, it's never gonna not, it's like a very 50-50 shot that there's people who have literally executed their dreams and ambitions and they've hit like as soon they woke up the next day and they freaking went viral. Then there's other people who have, it's taken them a couple years to get to where they are, but once they get there, it's the level of satisfaction. And I feel like a big component is support. And unfortunately, the people that you think are going to be supportive might not. And the people that are going to
That's why I left.
surprise you, or the people that you wouldn't expect, will be supportive. I mean, I've dealt with that with family and with friends. I'm not pinpointing who exactly, but you can tell when that shade is being given to you when it's being given to you.
Shit,
I
I'll
think my one
snitch.
piece
I'll
of
say
advice
names.
would probably be don't let them haters hate. Just keep on pursuing and pushing and pushing. You'll get recognized soon. Sooner than later, sooner than you expect. And, constantly not living in the negative, but giving yourself the positive reinforcements and the capabilities to listen to the aspirations, and having the good angel on your shoulder tell you all the good things that you need. Don't let one little thing derive you from achieving greatness if you're looking to only achieve greatness, because it's like a heartbeat monitor, or like a heart monitor. You go through your ups and downs until you get to that point of up, and once you've hit up, it's
Just keep going like
not
them
just the
numbers, right?
destination. Yeah,
Take the
pretty
pain,
much.
take the pain away. Out of here. We go, girl. We wildin' right now. I love it.
The destination is beautiful when you're there and you can talk about that destination, but the journey to get to the destination is more fulfilling than the destination itself.
Sure. No, I agree with you. Now, I will say,
Not the shore.
well, because I like the destination, because I love throwing this shit in people's face. I'm not gonna lie. I find so much power in just putting the middle finger up to everybody who held me back. I think people just need to do what I did. Just run away from your home state. Everything gets better. Just glows. Look at this. I'm glowing. Guys, I'm happy. I couldn't imagine. This is crazy. But all jokes aside, everything that you said is absolutely correct.
But I think that's all I got for today. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
It was really good. I didn't even know what to expect. He was just like, "Oh, we got everything." I was like, "Okay."
I told you we was gonna walk you through. It wasn't. It's
No, you're
just
right. Yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah. Listen, professional to a T. Okay.
Thank you. I tried. I did my damnedest to not troll the shit out you this episode.
All right.
Now, before we do wrap it up, I do want to say, because I know you gonna announce some things. Before that happens, I'm gonna just do a quick little thing, and I'm gonna talk about intoxication. Well, intoxicating. I'm intoxicated. That's the goddamn problem. I need to get more sleep. That's the shit. Lord, Jesus. All right. Anyway, intoxicating, and two things I wanted to highlight. You mentioned the fact that in your monologue that you just had, Bryson Tiller talked about, well, the instant gratification. That's the part I wanted to point out. Bryson Tiller, who is one of my many, nah, actually it's very few, but one of the people I always shout out when I talk about my writing journey. He spoke about the fact that when he dropped Don't, he heard nothing. And he was doing an interview, and they said, oh, it's like, Don't was a hit overnight. And he was like, no, the fuck it wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. I was at home depressed. And he talked about how that went on for months, and then it just happened. The way it transpired and how big it got. But it won't happen overnight. And you have to stick in. And like you said, you have to go through that journey, because once you get where you're gonna go, where you want to make it, you'll think back on it and just say, this was all worth it. Everything that you go through, it's worth it to get to achieve everything that you want. And hearing that story for Bryson is one of the reasons that I keep writing and I keep going, because I feel as though if, like, he was working at FedEx or some shit, I don't got to do that right now. Like, whoo, I'm not that, thank God. But think like
houses.
Exactly. Like, I was just at Amazon after I got in some trouble. But anyway, that's not the point. Point being, if you go for your dreams, what's the worst that can happen? You mentioned earlier how much AI is taking over everything. We're in the field right now. NatRose, you too, because we got an album coming out in a few months too. But we're in the field right now where we have to battle AI singers. I hate that shit. You know how hard it was to teach myself how to sing? and I'm not the craziest vocalist. So now I have to fight some where people will put Rihanna with Beyonce and with SZA and make their voice. I'm like, now granted, that shit don't sound like it got no soul in it, so that's cool. Thank God they ain't. But if they get it, I'm gonna have some trouble. Like, I might have to burn something down. That's perfectly fine though. I'm gonna kill them servers. That little Google shit, that AI shit is out of here. I'm gonna get that done. But battling that is something that I have to think about foresight. But I know that for me, I'm still just trying to find my way and enjoy this path that I'm walking, because it's an intoxicating feeling. It's a feeling that I cannot replicate, and it has not been replicated. I have never felt more alive and never felt the happiness, even in the sorriest of times, even through my sorrows of writing Exhale, then when I got to work with you, then when I get to connect with people like Miss. You got to say your name. I'm not going to do it. I told you. I'm afraid.
Just say it.
It's okay. We can't judge
Hey,
at this point.
don't do
Come on
that.
now.
Working with people such as NatRose, working with people such as Fatou. All right.
Not that.
I'm still, look, come on, guys. Look, I know it doesn't seem like it, but this hangover is kicking my ass. Being able to bring that back into my life, feeling of being extroverted in times where I want to be extroverted, because I'm kind of comfortable being in the house at this point. And I need to stay my stupid ass inside. That's why we almost got arrested last night. I'll be wilding. But that feeling that I get from music is an intoxicating feeling. Working with people I think are talented, even if I don't like you, which I have worked with. I'm not going to say who, because they're friends of some of my friends, so I have to be nice. But working with people I don't care about, if I think you're talented, I'll put that pride aside, because I want to uplift. I want everything that was not given to me, the opportunity that was not presented to me, the support that was not for anybody that I can help, unless I hate you. If I hate you, fuck you. But point being, it's an intoxicating feeling, and I find the happiness that somehow I lost along the way in it. So writing this album, although it's very, I'll say, it's definitely not PG. Not in the slightest bit. I feel it. It's like night and day from Exhale. When you talking about heartbreak on this album, I am out here being a hoe, I think. I don't know. There's a lot of songs, guys. It's a riveting story we're going through this time around. Blew up my car, a lot of shit. But it's a feeling that everyone needs to get, and whether that's from your passion of teaching, from your passion of being the boss woman that you are, NatRose, because that's what it is. You like being a boss and everything that you do. I see it. Graphic design, that passion, that intoxicating feeling. Also, we can't act like I was lit writing this album too. I was intoxicated. That's how the name is. We are living it. I am. I love Bobby Brown, but let me not do that. My parents are gonna watch this at some point. I hope not. Point being, it's an intoxicating feeling, and everybody should go for your dreams. Link up with creatives that you are fond of, and just put yourself out there. Just try. Nothing. No matter how many times you get a no, or like you said, it has to grow from somewhere. So just try. It's gonna go your way.
Okay, if we wrap it up?
Yes.
Great. I just wanted to put a little PSA out there that this is our final episode for the season. I was very, very nervous at first, but I think we kind of blossomed over the course of the episodes as we went through, so this was great. We're going to take a little bit of a hiatus. Other than the dual project that we have going on, I have some personal projects of my own that I kind of want to take a little bit of a step back away from this for just a little bit, and come back better improved and have some better topics, better discussions, better ideas, better everything that we can put our whole heart, soul, body, well-being, so on and so forth into. And then we'll be back with some more stuff.
Probably be rich by the time we come back. If this album goes the way it's supposed to go, when we start that second season, I'm going to be saying even crazier shit. Because I talk like this now. Imagine when I. Oh my God. Imagine when I got to see nobody. Oh my shit. It's going to be amazing.
With that, and actually, I think what you, good sir, have said perfectly executes. Don't let another moment in another lifetime of a series define who you are on another day, at another time, during another anecdote. We would love for you to listen. Please come back for season 2, and we will see y'all soon.
See y'all later.